Drive Time Shaman morning work session. What's up, everybody? I gotta do some chatting because I'm stressed. It's like Seattle over here too. It's been raining for weeks. Every day it's been raining for weeks. The dragons are crying. Mahatma's on site. What's up, brother? It's been raining here like crazy. I just got out of the doctor's, man. I got some fucking weird information from the doctors. Well, my sugar's high. I gotta fucking stop drinking sugary lemonade and eating sugar because my sugar's like really, really high. And I'm in my 40s now, so my body is not the same as it was when I was younger. I got diabetes in my family. Plus, they said my liver was like a little inflamed and shit, so I don't know what the fuck that means. Yeah, I gotta start training more and change my diet. For damn sure. Yeah, turmeric, all that. I can't really look in the chat room too much because I'm driving, but I mean, I used to compete and train in kickboxing, Muay Thai. So I used to, you know, I've been fit my whole life. I was an athlete my whole life. But the doctor was talking about the genetics, that sometimes you're genetically programmed even to have the diabetes in order to need the medication. And I was like, well, that medication for diabetes has been only the last few generations. So what about all my ancestors that lived without that medication prior to that? He goes, well, they just died. They died without having kids. They just died. I'm like, well, that doesn't seem right, that I just need the medication and my body's not going to naturally heal itself. He said, well, once it gets to a certain point, your sugar, most likely it won't go back to normal by itself. I'm like, well, what about exercise and dieting? It won't bring it back down? He goes, no, because your system probably has to be changed. I'm like, well, all right, whatever. It doesn't seem right to me, but yeah, I haven't. So basically, my diet, you know, I eat a lot of breads and pastas, which I shouldn't, and rice, which I shouldn't, and then sometimes I'll drink a Monster Energy drink, which I shouldn't. And I'm a sucker for lemonade. I love lemonade, so that's the problem. And I have diabetes in my family. Like my father and my grandmother were high. My grandmother was really, really diabetic. Like she lost toes and shit. Like she had to slam needles into her. My dad, he doesn't take insulin, but he takes pill form. He doesn't inject anything. But my mom's family had no diabetes in it, but they got cancer in it a lot. So of course, when he said my liver was a little inflamed, I was like, oh shit. You know, I started thinking the worst, but I'll be all right. I'm gonna start exercising more and change my diet. Who's with me here? Yeah, I mean, I haven't been training in martial arts in a while, but I reached a very high level. I mean, I had 2 pro fights. I had a handful of amateur fights, almost 12 amateur fights, and countless wars in the gym. I played soccer I played some pickup games when I was out of high school that were pickup games. Fucking state police right there too. So yeah, I mean I played soccer my whole life. I played baseball. I played so many friggin' sports my whole life. They came naturally to me, sports. You know, I'm definitely an athletic person. I started martial arts when I was really little, but I started in karate, Isshin Ryu karate actually, and I made it to black belt in Isshin Ryu karate by the time I was like 13. You know, it's like I started when I was like 5, but I made it all the way to black belt, and then I realized that I really didn't know how to fight. We had kickboxers that would come once in a while, and different people to our gym, and one person had just got from Thailand, and they were kicking me and doing some kicks on the pads that I've never seen before like that, and not so, you know, I've never seen such hard kicks before. So plus you could go through all the way up to black belt in karate and not know how to box. Imagine that somebody says that you're literally a lethal weapon in martial arts, but you don't know how to protect yourself with your hands. That hit me, because like as a kid you get this it's like a false vision of yourself. You know, you think you could fight, you think you could handle yourself, all this stuff because you're a black belt, and it's not true. You know, you know things under a limited atmosphere, right? So it wasn't until I started kickboxing and all that I really realized, I started to really understand actual fighting. You know, Muay Thai is full-on combat. It's designed for hand-to-hand fighting. Karate, a lot of it's designed for point fighting. They have spinning kicks that are really powerful, but if you implement those spinning kicks with Muay Thai, with boxing, with wrestling, with all those other aspects of martial arts, that's how you become a good fighter. There's a difference between a martial artist and a fighter. A martial artist and you know, someone that knows self-defense and fighting. And Muay Thai is designed, if you're looking for a martial art that's designed for hand-to-hand combat and to best protect you on the streets, you definitely have to do a combination of jiu-jitsu or some sort of ground fighting and stand-up fighting. You know, it's the only way, because when you take somebody to the ground, they don't have as much strength anymore. Just think about, like, if you had to swing a baseball bat and you're standing up. Now, try to swing that baseball bat when you're on your knees or laying on the ground. It's not going to be as strong. So when you take somebody to the ground, they're like a fish out of water, and they don't have as much strength, and they're limited with their mobility. So that's what jiu-jitsu and wrestling and all that do. They take somebody to the ground, and now you're underneath somebody, and they feel like a gorilla on top of you. Kickboxing, Muay Thai and kickboxing are different. Muay Thai uses all 8 limbs. Your elbows, your knees, your hands, your feet, everything. Kickboxing, there's no elbows usually. Limited clinching. Muay Thai is a lot of clinching. But let's get off that, because you guys don't want to hear about my stupid martial arts and kickboxing and all that. I have some interesting... I was going to do fight analysis sometimes too, but I should do a whole different channel for that eventually. If I ever get to the point where I'm really doing this full time, where like I have a nice setup and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, I would do a separate little fight stream where I analyze fights, because I've been watching and cornering people and all of that for years. I mean, I have a license. It just has expired now. I'd have to get it renewed. I have a license to corner people. Yeah, you need a license for that, to be able to corner in the UFC or corner in professional fights. You most likely, depending on states and depending on the level of the show that you're at, you need a license to be in a corner. And I have cornered people at Foxwoods casinos and things like that for professional Muay Thai before. I got a good eye for it. I'm intuitive too, so like I pick up on things. Like if somebody's doing, say somebody like drops their elbow on their left side every time they do a certain kick or does something, I could pick up things real quick and tell somebody like, listen, every time this guy throws a kick, you need to throw a left hook or something, or something like that, you know. So let's talk about my topic for this morning. And this is one of the most important topics that I've ever dove into, because this has to do with everything we've been talking about, the shift that's on our planet, and all of the mystics that have been infiltrated by the technology, by the disembodied spirits controlling the technology that we have. Now, it's my understanding, from what I've gone through, from what I've seen out there, and my research has been backing it up, that not just Catholic saints, but all mystics, sages across the board have been infiltrated by these disembodied spirits of the Rephaim, children of the fallen. And when they infiltrate somebody, they can literally activate abilities. They can activate abilities that lets people resurrect the dead, heal people that bodies have been mangled, skulls have been crushed, bodies eaten by wolves and then all of a sudden regenerated and put back together. How is this possible? We have countless stories of sages and mystics, even now going to the modern days, that have done these miraculous things. But every one of these miracles and every one of these living dead saints, who even after their death, their body stays incorruptible, and the Catholic Church will even make a weave wax in like make a wax mold on top of the body to even more preserve it somehow. And they are literally messing with the body, preserving it while it's being used in sorcery. And this is an act of sorcery, to make the body, mark the body before death and prepare it at death, so it stays incorruptible while it's being used in the spiritual realms for sorcery. And I don't even know if this store is open yet here. I don't think this store is even open yet. So, let's talk about this for a moment, because yesterday I was talking about how spirits can inhabit bodies, and yesterday we were talking about in Kabbalah how some of the Kabbalists will actually lock down evil spirits within a trunk and how they can enter bodies and be loaded. You know, I've talked about how yogis and saints can actually live off of very little sustenance, only the Holy Eucharist, because you're being fed by your God. You're eating the body of your God. And it's the same thing with sun yogis and different people that are being nourished by the sun. They're taking in the rays from the sun. They're being nourished by it. They're being fed by another system, where spiritual nourishment is entwined with your physical reality. And it's a very interesting interface when this happens. And the saints are the same thing. But when these abilities and your DNA is activated through unnaturally, through a disembodied incarnation, where they incarnate within you, where it's a whole new incarnation for yourself. Your mind, body, and soul has been infiltrated by another entity. And this is what happens with these Catholic saints and a lot of these sages over time. They were infiltrated by these disembodied spirits so they can convert people, they can harvest their souls, baptize them to the faith, and claim the area, claim the sacred area, waiting for the renewal, waiting for them to return to this physical realm. Now, all of these saints and these miracle workers, after they make these miracles, it's not done there. Afterwards, people are baptized to that miracle worker's faith. They are indoctrinated into that dogma. You have their unshakable, undeniable attention and loyalty after that. Now, it's my understanding that these family lines, the direct descendants, all of the practitioners and followers of all of these hundreds and millions of people that have been converted over time because of this, baptized to the faith because of this, that these lines will be easy targets and vessels for these disembodied spirits when the floodgate actually opens for them all. Now we only have a few that are released. We have them traveling within the electricity, traveling within the technology. Soon the floodgates will be open and they all will be released. They've been broadcasting a spiritual transmission, activating codes, shaking the foundations of our planet, awakening the masses for them to return. That's what we're seeing right now. And they're inhabiting the vessels of the corrupted ones. And we've all been corrupted to a certain degree by all of this. We have all been corrupted to a certain degree. Now, if you're listening right now and you donated yesterday or the last couple days, I know there was a few people. I got your donations yesterday or the day before, and we will be sending you packages. If I don't have your address, please send it to me as well. Now, I've been doing a lot of interesting research too, and I've been making a lot of different posts for a lot of different topics on my Patreon, but they are all entwined. If you're listening to me right now for the first time, patreon.com/themysticalspiral is where it's at. Mind-blowing info. Tonight's Friday night, so we're definitely going to do a Zoom chat later. Like I said, I haven't been feeling that healthy. I knew it, and I went to the doctors, and it was confirmed. My sugar's really high. My liver was a little inflamed. So I have to change my diet. I got a little scare this morning. So I do feel like mysterious forces have been at work against me as well. And I've been having a lot of protection. But it's alright. I've been through so much in my life. Yeah, no, we're at a spiritual war. There's a battle between light and dark forces upon us. And there's a spiritual war taking place. I mean, it's been constantly raining here in New York. Like, even right now, it's raining. It's non-stop. It's just been consistently raining for weeks on end. And I've made some mind-blowing discoveries too. You guys seen me posted about those red orbs and orange orbs that are in the sky that people have sightings of, and I've had a sighting of this 2 years ago. And the video I posted that I got of it doesn't do it justice because my phone sucked, my camera at the time. Oh, it's interesting. You're in Massachusetts. My friend Lori Bruno, my family. She's a Strega family member of mine. Lori Bruno lives in Massachusetts, but she lives near Salem. Now, it's very, hold on, I got tickets here. It's very crazy, this fucking rain. But what was I saying? So these red orbs, I want to talk about that for a second before I go. And I'll do another video later. I gotta go do a lot of things. So these red orbs, they are alive. They are sentient. They're silent. They're pulsating, vibrating. They move around. They're alive. Now, it took me a while to figure out what their purpose was. I do feel that they are related to crop circles as well, but I consider them plasmic orbs. Now, it's interesting because I don't know exactly why they're doing this, but from what I've seen and experienced, these reddish orbs, reddish orange orbs, that my camera sucked so bad it looked white most of the time when I was recording it, and then you could see it vibrate and turn to red in my video. But the video that I posted that the New York Post even had in it, they had a good camera and you can actually see the color of it, because the color is so amazing. It's such a sparkling, amazing color, reddish, orange, white, that it's a beautiful color. It almost looks like a Chinese lantern, but sentient, moving around with intelligence. I know what they're doing. I just don't know why and for the reason and like what it's actually doing. But these orbs are imprinting your energetic layers. They are imprinting humans with codes. They are imprinting humans with certain sigils and symbols. I don't know exactly what these symbols mean. I think some of them are benevolent and some of them are malicious. But they are imprinting your energetic layers. What do I mean by this when I say this? If you're not sure exactly what I mean, is that we have a physical body. And then we have 4 other layers of energy around us. We have our aura, we have our astral, right? We have our spirit. And then we have our soul that keeps it all enclosed and connected to the physical body. Those energetic layers around us can be imprinted with energetic symbols. Holographic kinetics is very similar to this. My family doesn't call it holographic kinetics. It's more of an ancient of a name, but it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's dream time healing. It's your spirits healing. So these things, they can put either something that can hurt you on your energetic body, or something that can help you onto your energetic body. And I do feel that people that have sightings of these things, people that are that they seem like coming to them and letting them view them and see them, they are literally imprinting you with some sort of code, imprinting you with some sort of energetic symbol. Now, I know no one else has said that about these orbs. This is strictly from me. They are pure energy. I believe that we have this same energy within us. This is where our soul is. And, you know, there's some crazy stories that go along with trying to find out where the soul is in the body. I mean, even it said that when Cain killed Abel, he was trying to kill him so much that he was trying to eat his soul. And he didn't know exactly where the soul was on the body, so he bit him everywhere. All over his neck like a freaking dog, trying to bite his soul, eat his soul out. So when Abel was killed, he literally was bitten until he died by Cain, because Cain was trying to literally extinguish and eat his soul. How crazy is that? Spiral. Out.